Hi, welcome to Historic Eats. Today I'll be making for you classic strawberry pie. It's May and the strawberries are just coming on and it's almost Mother's Day, so it is the perfect time to make this delicious, time-tested recipe. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy authentic recipes like what Grandma used to make, click subscribe and check out some of the other videos on my channel or head over to historic-eats.com where you can find printable versions of the recipes there. This strawberry pie we're making today is often referred to as strawberry glacé pie. It's very simple and just has basic ingredients. There's no cream, there's no jello. It's just strawberries, sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and cornstarch, and it all comes together beautifully, and it is absolutely bursting with fresh strawberry flavor. It's an easy recipe to make, so just follow along the steps, and before you know it, you'll be enjoying strawberry pie.
Okay, to start with the crust, this is going to fit an 8.5-inch pie pan. I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add 1/3 cup of shortening or lard and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to cut those together. And once that looks pretty coarse, I'm going to start adding the water. It usually takes about 3 to 4 tablespoons of ice cold water. Okay, and then once that looks like it's going to hold together into a ball, then we can roll it out. So I'm going to lightly flour my surface here. And I'm just going to begin to roll this out. Okay, I'm just going to loosen it from the bottom here. And just kind of pull off the excess on the edges. And just crimp them so they look pretty. So since this is a fruit pie, I'm going to pre-bake the shell. So I just need to line it with some parchment paper and fill it with either pie weight or you could use dry beans. And this goes in a 425-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes for the first bake. Okay, so this is really hot. I'm going to carefully remove the parchment and the pie weights. And just a quick tip to reduce the amount of shrinkage of your crust, you can chill it for 30 minutes before baking. I did not do that. You can see it did shrink a little bit, but if you chill it, that will prevent that from happening. So I'm just going to poke it a little bit along the bottom with a fork, and then this is just an egg that's beaten, and I will brush that all across the bottom and up the sides. And it should provide a little bit of a barrier from the juice of the strawberries so that the crust doesn't get mushy. Okay, and once that's complete, I'm going to put this right back in the oven, only for about 5-7 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll prepare the strawberries. This is 2 pounds of fresh strawberries, and I'm going to cut half of them really just in half because they will be on the top, like for a neat decoration. And then the other half I'll cut into smaller pieces that will be technically the filling. So I'm just cutting them in half, cutting the stems off the top. So just finishing cutting these up here. And the ones that I have in the pan, I'm going to take over to the stove and add the remainder of the ingredients. I'm going to begin cooking the strawberry pieces over here at the stove on medium heat. And to that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. And then with a potato masher, as it gets warm, I'm going to begin to break down the pieces. Meanwhile, my timer just went off for the second bake on the crust, so it's all done. You can see it's starting to get nice and golden. I'm just going to put this on the cooling rack. It needs to cool all the way before we put the strawberry filling in it. So the juices are just starting to gently boil and the sugar is dissolving. So just begin mashing them, and this process is going to take about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. Everything is breaking down really nicely, so we'll move on to the next step. I have 3/4 cup of water, and to that I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I'm just going to whisk that to dissolve the cornstarch so it's nice and smooth. And then keeping my heat still at medium-low, I'll begin to slowly stir this in. And it'll get like a creamy, milky looking color to it. And now that that's totally incorporated, this is just going to cook for 10 minutes. And what we're trying to do is just reduce it so it's a little thicker. And that milky color will fade. It'll turn clear again. So you might want to reduce your heat again, medium-low, low, and we'll just periodically stir it over the next 10 minutes. This has thickened nicely and it's become more translucent again. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice because I like a little bit of tartness to my strawberry pie. This is a good time to taste it. If you want it a little sweeter, you can add sugar. If you like it more tart, add the lemon juice. It's a recipe you can take a little liberty with. Just make it the way you like. At this point, I'm going to shut the heat off completely and just let it cool down a little bit, maybe 10-15 minutes. That way it'll be ready to pour into the crust. Pour a little more than half of the cooked strawberry mixture into the pie shell. And now neatly arrange the strawberry halves all across the top. Once those are all in there, I'll just take the remainder of the cooked strawberries and fill in any gaps. And I like to cover all of the whole strawberry pieces so that they all have that shiny glaze on them. Okay, that looks good. Now that that's complete, here comes the hard part. We have to put it in the refrigerator for a minimum of 3 hours.
The history of strawberry pie goes back several hundred known years. The strawberry itself has been a staple on all continents in the Northern Hemisphere for several millennia, as it's been foraged and added to baked goods. Some of the earliest versions of the strawberry being incorporated into an actual pie come from medieval England, where cooking records include recipes of a cake-like custard made from wild strawberries, eggs, sugar, and breadcrumbs baked into a pastry tart crust. In the 18th century, King Louis of France was known for his penchant for strawberries, and the French had their own version of strawberry pie that was made up of a tart shell layered with a custard of eggs, cream, and sugar, then topped with strawberries. In the New World, strawberry shortcake and strawberry custard tarts were common, but into the 20th century, the strawberry glacé pie was introduced. This simple version of the strawberry pie is still the most popular today. It maintains a flaky crust filled with fresh strawberries, sugar, and cornstarch that is briefly cooked, then chilled to a soft serve and served with whipped topping. It is nothing short of fresh strawberry flavor. It was so well loved that by the 1950s, restaurants like Eaton Park and Hess's department store created their own iconic commercial versions. This simple, authentic recipe has staying power, as the strawberry pie will surely be on this century's summertime picnic tables. Now on to enjoy the strawberry pie. So our strawberry pie has thoroughly chilled. I put a little bit of whipped topping on it. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to give it a taste. So it actually set up really nicely. And you can see the big pieces of strawberries that we put in at the end. Oh, it is so good. The strawberries are so fresh and sweet, and the crust stayed nice and crisp and flaky. It is absolutely delicious. You have to try it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, click subscribe, head over to the website, and I'm currently working on another pie recipe for Father's Day, so be sure to check back in. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.